Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, January the 11th. Pleasure to have you with us today. We're going to talk about something that's happening in Columbia next week. Actually, downtown Columbia next week. The district. It's Restaurant Week, right? And NICKIE DAVIS is with us. Good to have you here,
Thank you
NICKIE.
so much.
And you brought along
Lydia, who has Gunter Hans in the district.
Yeah.
And is participating in the Restaurant Week as well.
Okay, explain what Restaurant Week is.
So Restaurant Week is a passport-based event. You can find these passports at any of the participating restaurants, any of the coffee shops, and you get 3 stamps from any restaurant, and you get to turn it in for different prizes in the district.
During Restaurant Week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what you need to do then, Restaurant Week runs from what? January
14th through the 20th.
All right. So you pick up one of these passports, and it's the restaurants only in the district in downtown Columbia.
Correct.
And then you visit 3 different restaurants. Doesn't have to be the same day during that week. And then you put your name and address and your phone number and email address, and you could win something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why should people be coming downtown to the district to the restaurants? Tell me.
Well, we offer just the most unique, locally owned businesses downtown. And like Lydia's place, they're just things that you're never going to find anywhere outside of the district.
Yeah, and that's it. Gunter Hans, right?
Yes.
You're located where?
Yes, right across from Ragtag in the alley off Hitt Street.
Yeah, as I said, I drive by your place, coming down here all the time, and you have your pretzels.
Yes, we make those from scratch.
You make your pretzels
every day.
from
Yes.
scratch.
Yes.
And you had bratwurst.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so it's a German. You've got your German themes, right?
Yes. So we ran with all things Europe, but Germany seems to be the most popular given the name. So, so that's kind of what we specialize in.
Yeah. Or what do you feel when people come in? Do they feel like they're in a little bit of Europe, a little bit of Germany when they come into your place?
Absolutely. We have a beer garden, and people come get the big liters or masses of beer, and they get their pretzel made from scratch.
Okay.
And
Well, next week, Restaurant Week is the perfect time to try all the different restaurants in downtown Columbia in the district.
In the district.
How many are there?
So we have 23 participating this year, but there are tons more restaurants that you can also try out while you're down there.
Okay. It's January the 14th through the 20th, and I like your slogan, it's a good time to eat here. All right. Best of luck with the promotion and
Thank you so
continued
much.
success with Gunter Hans. Did I pronounce it right?
Thank you.
Thank
Yep,
you
you
very
nailed
much
it.
for coming by. Don't forget, the District Restaurant Week, January the 14th through the 20th. Now, I want to introduce you to Heather Lamb, who is the editorial director of Vox Magazine. Good to have you here, Heather.
Good to be here.
Vox Magazine has been around since May 21st of 1988?
1998.
1998.
Yeah, I brought the premier issue here. So.
This was the very first Vox Magazine. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice magazine. But I remember, when did you change the format then from the newspaper tabloid look to the new look?
So just this year in September, and of course our first cover
Oh yeah, you had
was
Pepper on
someone
there.
familiar.
So this was the first time that you went to the
It was.
magazine type
Yep,
format.
Yep.
Well, explain what Vox Magazine is and what you're doing in the community.
Sure. So Vox is a city magazine, and we are part of the School of Journalism, and so it's a way for students to learn how to do magazine journalism. And so we have editors and designers and writers, photographers, all sorts of people working on the magazine.
You do, and it's really the magazine is a very professional-looking magazine, very well put together.
That's our goal, yeah.
Yeah, very nice. How many people do you have working on Vox itself to put it together?
Yeah, so depending on the semester, 75 to 100 students.
Really?
Yeah. So, and some are going to be more intense and working a lot, and so there's maybe 25 to 30 students who are really putting in a lot of time, and then you have writers who will write pieces from time to time. But no, it's a big staff, and then it turns over, every 16 weeks. So.
But that's got to be rewarding too when you're working with young people who really do care. Now I know Connor Lagore, who did that story on the he was such a wonderful young man who put in so much time and so much effort making sure that he was getting it right. And I was impressed by the fact checking that you people do.
Yes.
I think I was fact checked 4 or 5 times before it went to print to make sure that everything was accurate. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, and that's a big part of our process. And one of the things that people don't necessarily realize goes on behind the scenes is after the writer writes it, we have an editor will call them back, or in your case, I know you stopped by the office.
2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
2 or 3 times I said, boy, if I don't like it, and they wouldn't let me see the story before it was published. But I said, if I don't like this story, I can't call it fake news because you have fact-checked everything in detail. You were very, very good on that.
Yeah. So.
And you do that with every story that you write.
Yes, every story. So, and it's a separate person doing the fact-checking than who wrote it. So it's just a different, so there's another set of eyes on it.
I think there were 2 or 3 people that fact-checked it.
Yeah.
How do you decide on what stories you're going to do?
Oh, well, it's always about the mix of stories. And so, Vox is really, we're here to try and provide some perspective on news and culture. And so we have, food stories always are popular. We have in our new issue something about the new Lakota location or the new Cajun Crab House. Actually, our cover story is Don't Worry, Eat Happy.
Yeah.
So, but really, I'm always looking for a good mix. And so we need to have, some newsier stories in there. We need to have stories about people's homes, about people that you might know, about art, about music.
So can people contact you if they have an idea for a story?
Absolutely.
How do they get in touch with you?
Best way is probably to email vox@missouri.edu.
Okay, and you will take suggestions on possible stories.
Absolutely. We'd love suggestions.
And now, Vox then is an insert in the Missourian. So if you subscribe to the Missourian, you'll get Vox Magazine. Otherwise, you can pick it up in newsstands. It's free of charge.
Oh, yeah. Just about everywhere in Columbia. We're trying to get it in many places as we can. So, but yeah, there's drop boxes all over town. So
just look for Vox Magazine. You don't have to pay a dime for it, but read it. It's a good magazine. And remember, a lot of hardworking young people are putting that together, and they really do care about it.
Yes.
I was thoroughly impressed by the work that you do. When I came down to the office, I mean, people are buzzing around like little ants working hard. Heather Lamb, thank you so much for coming by. Anything else you want to add? Because we've got 15 seconds.
Just look for Vox the last Thursday of the month.
So, all right, got it. Heather Lamb, editorial director of Vox Magazine. Bye-bye. If there's something you'd like to hear or see, I would love to hear from you. All you have to do is drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu, and have yourself a nice day.